Well, you look like you're under 25, so
I
congratulations.
know. I have a bit about it and like my opening.
No, I can't find this in. Well, I think we're probably being live streamed right now. Okay, welcome back everybody to the Blamegirl Podcast with,
Mr. Terry Wayne.
and we got Chelsea Perry in the house. Hey Chelsea, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
So, how was your weekend?
It was good. I got to write with, Charlie. I don't know his last name. It's Brazilian on Friday. Huh? How do you say it?
Esterillo?
Yeah, I wrote with him on Friday, working on a sketch. And then Saturday I went to propaganda for the first time, and that was a crazy room.
How was propaganda?
I actually liked it just because it was so challenging because the crowd is so rowdy. So it was like good experience.
Was that your first time at a rowdy place like that, or?
Like that, yeah. Like I've had, hecklers and stuff, but not like after every punchline.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah, there's a couple of good places for that. Swamp Grass is also another good place to toughen up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you do anything fun Sunday, or you just hung out Saturday and then chilled?
I got like 3 hours of sleep Sunday, and then I tried to read and write, but I just kept rereading the same line over and over, and I couldn't nap because I had too much anxiety. I did not do anything yesterday. Yeah.
That's what Sundays are for, though. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched football, and I think I left my house once just to run down and get some soda or something.
Oh, I did watch, I watched a new comedy special on HBO. What's his last name? His name's Drew. I don't know. It's actually really good though. Let's see. Drew Michael. I've seen his stuff before, but it was really good. I cried at the end. I've never cried at the end of a special like that because you just have to see. I don't want to ruin anything or set it up.
Or just crying.
No, like I actually genuinely cried.
Wow.
Well, that was a trend for quite some time.
Yeah.
With comedians dropping something deep on the end of their specials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Terry, how was your weekend?
Good. Not very productive. Went down and supported your show and spilled the beans. Gabby and Chris came out, gave me some wonderful cookies. You eat those? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those were pretty good, right?
Mhm.
The biscotti was really
Very
good with
good.
coffee. So good job to her. And then an awkward party in Miami.
So, yes, we did go to an awkward party. This time I don't have to beat up on Terry, I guess, for not asking me about how my weekend was, because we hung out this weekend. We saw Vanilla Ice on Friday, right?
That's true.
Yeah, for my girl Mindy's birthday. And
Yeah.
then Saturday,
Yeah.
spilled the beans. He did come down, gave me a ride, but he didn't come in. I don't know if that's supporting.
Because it's Fassel's show and he'll charge me and I'm not paying to see you. No offense. So
All right. So, and then, yes, we went to a party in Miami. My friend Issa's husband, Chris, he turned 39. They're big in Wynwood, in the Wynwood area.
yeah, it
Chris,
seems like the art scene there.
Chris has a company that, gives tours in Wynwood. So, like, he had a mural painted of himself on a building on Saturday. It was really cool. But yeah, we were at the party, and what was awkward was we were pretty much the only people that did not speak Spanish. Everybody else spoke Spanish and English.
Yeah, but at least you knew some of the people. I knew nobody
Yeah.
and couldn't speak the language.
Yeah.
But luckily my ex-wife is German, so I'm used to it.
But we like after a couple of drinks, people started talking to us, and it was fine, right?
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I went to brunch. I hung out with Jackie Sanchez, and her dog had a birthday party yesterday. Me and my dog went and hung out with them.
Yeah, I saw a video of you
And
online
and
eating
I
it.
ate it. And I fucking ran in, playing with the birthday dog, and I slipped and just fucking ate it. It was funny. You should check it out if you follow me. All right, guys, that's enough of our weekend. Are y'all ready to get to it?
Get it on.
All right. First up, I feel like I need a drink.
Hello.
This week, Donald Trump and Bill O'Reilly, they are having tours and they cannot fill up these seats. And it's called the History Tour. Who's to blame, guys? Why
Whoa.
can't
Whoa. All right.
can you leave my dog alone?
I'm just petting him.
Jesus.
All right. He's.
I
putting
just
his
said
hand-
leave him alone.
All right.
So who's to blame? Way to distract. I'll start over.
Okay.
Donald Trump and Bill O'Reilly cannot fill up seats on their History Tour. Who's to blame?
Ladies first.
Probably, let's just say COVID. Probably most of their fan base
That's
is,
what I was gonna say.
yeah, like they've died. So, I don't think it's like a lack of social media marketing or popularity. I think his popularity is still pretty strong. At least Trump's. Like Bill O'Reilly's not really relevant, but I feel like most of their fan base in Florida might have just died. So
Oh
So
well.
you think it's just Florida? Like that was my question. Because they're going on a tour, and I know they're going to Texas. My
Yeah.
conservative radio host I listen to every day, he was talking about how they're coming and he's hosting them and stuff, and I was like, oh god. But I thought it was funny when I saw that in Florida, of all places, it was an empty arena. I don't know. I don't know that it's just COVID. I think it's a lot to do with, like, in South Florida, there's so many things going on any given weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe South Florida wasn't the best place to host the Start Your Tour, you know, maybe Middle Florida or North Florida. That's what I was thinking. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
You know, you say Bill O'Reilly's not relevant. Oh, he's still very much relevant. He's just not on the big platforms anymore, but his
Yeah.
podcast / radio show still got a lot of listeners. And I think it's mainly COVID, but also I mean, you can't take away the huge hit that losing social media for them has wrought, you know, because you're just not getting that marketing out as much as you used to. You used to have free unlimited marketing to all these people, and just like that, it's gone with a few hateful comments and one insurrection.
So
So
you think, I didn't even think that, like, put that as a suggested. I didn't even think about that.
this time last year, he'd have packed them stadiums. You
So
know,
you think it's the lack of access to social media?
Yeah, like the
that-
fact that he can't tweet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's doing. Because I remember I was on,
no face. I mean, because he's got a huge following on Facebook, obviously, because that's where all the older people are, and you know, no Instagram, no nothing. So
Yeah. They called the arena cavernous for his.
I
I love that.
I
I love that adjective.
cannot wait to see his new social media platform that supposedly
I don't.
is supposedly already
I
worth
don't
$1 billion.
Something else depressing me. Okay, Kat.
I would like to
oh.
see Trump like at some South Florida open mics though, because I feel like he'd do really well. Like even when like some of the hosts promote their shows, they're like, "Oh, it's a great crowd," and I was like, "Well, I was there, and it really wasn't a good crowd."
Oh,
And
there's so many lies getting told.
yeah, so I feel like Trump's like already ready, like for stand up.
He says, this is our former president. Our country, in my opinion, is no longer respected. Every
Yeah.
country in the world takes advantage of the United States. It's a horrible thing to say. I don't feel America is great right now.
America's not great. I wrote in my first book, I said, America's such a great country that the only people that could ever defeat us is us. And I think we're doing a great job at it. And just like everything else, we're doing a really great job. To say that other foreign leaders in other countries don't respect us is just insane.
So he does say that. He says, first of all, he says that, you know, he complimented Barack Obama. He says he's smart and sharp. And he's like, I like him. But he caused tremendous division.
But show me your birth
I like
certificate.
Trump, right? I like Trump. And then he
I
says,
can't imagine what caused all the
this
division.
floored me. He just completely admitted that, like, I got along with the best with tyrants, Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Like, why would you admit to getting along with tyrants the best?
And don't forget Xi Jinping.
Well, it could be another reason why they didn't fill out the stadiums,
Basically
because
a dictator
he
now.
keeps repeating himself over and over again. Like, we've already heard this before, like, oh, America's not great, or like America's not respected. So he keeps repeating the same thing. So it's like we could just watch that on YouTube,
He's just acting,
I can't
sticking to the script,
I
right?
can't believe it actually worked. I can't believe he got all these uber patriot right-wing conservatives from the very beginning with the tagline of "Make America Great Again," because that insinuates that America isn't great.
Yeah.
And to say that we don't have their respect is asinine. We have the greatest military might that humanity has ever known. Like, if we're not respected, at least we're feared, And I'm not saying that's better, but it's something.
All right.
Well, also, like, us not being respected, he's not being self-reflective of like maybe why in the past 4 years we're not as respected too. It's like we've elected a reality star.
Yeah. That might be it.
Yeah.
Well, not just that we've elected a reality star, but we've got some absolute liars in our Army leadership, guys. This brings me to the next story.
Next story.
All right. So the Army leadership, they are being called outright liars by the former head of the DC National Guard and really the former head of the Capitol Police. Who's to blame here? And let me just give a little background, because this was a very, very comprehensive political article. And
This is the one I sent you, right?
you didn't send me this. I sent this to you as usual. But anyway, so Colonel Earl Matthews.
Look at the white man trying to take credit.
I was just asking because I read this political article.
So
I assumed I sent it to her.
Nonetheless, Colonel Earl Matthews, who worked for the National Security Council and Pentagon during the Trump administration, he slammed the Pentagon inspectors general for what he calls an error-riddled report that protects top Army officials who argued against Army officials that argued against sending the National Guard to the Capitol on January 6th, delaying the insurrection response by hours. That's a quote from Politico. All right, guys, who's to blame here? Why do we have these high officials in our security accusing each other of being liars? Who's to blame?
Go ahead.
I don't know, you take it.
Donald Trump, obviously. He's the one that started all this. Even General Flynn is on record as saying he wanted to have wanted martial law declared. So you're telling me that doesn't filter down?
Which General Flynn?
You know the one. The one that was in prison and then got pardoned. But no, it's that kind of attitude, that kind of rhetoric, that all disseminates down, and they kind of knew that they didn't want to bring troops in because honestly they didn't really want to stop it, or at least that's what I'm getting. That's the feeling that I'm getting, is they wanted to make a statement. I mean, it's not like they were going to overthrow the country or anything, but they definitely were trying to make a statement, and I guess they thought if they put up enough hoopla that we would just go, okay, let's rewrite the Constitution. Hang on.
I think they didn't want to physically harm like the patriots.
They are just saying that they did, like, they're like, oh, we did try to respond, but he wasn't answering. That's really kind of what they're doing here. It's not.
My favorite part of this article was that those two generals both said that they wanted the National Guard to come in, but they wanted the National Guard to take over the policing duties for Washington, D.C., and they wanted the police department to come and enforce the law at the Capitol.
Yeah.
Which is ass backwards.
Yeah.
And for what reason? So you're going to have a guardsman out there directing traffic, and then you're going to have some beat cop trying to overpower a dozen dudes,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's not what it's there for.
Chelsea, what do you think?
I think that they just didn't want to hurt like the patriots, they didn't, because like it depend. They're like, oh, we need a physical. They didn't want to
define they. Who's they didn't want to hurt? Because there's two sides. There's the Capitol Police and the National Guard versus the Army. So who they didn't want to hurt the protesters?
The Capitol Police, but specifically because you see in like videos them like opening those what are those guardrails, like those like gray gates, like they like open it and let people in, you know what I mean? Like I literally saw, I could show you a video, like one of the guys just standing there, he literally opens it and lets and like puts his hand out for them to go.
So it was the Capitol Police that was just.
I don't know about that. I know that at a certain point, the Capitol Police knew they were going to get overrun.
Yeah.
So they were just like, just go.
I mean, it was a big event though, so it's like from all different angles. I feel like it was just not.
But it doesn't matter. It's still breaking and entering. It's still
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but I'm saying it's still like the people who are like at the Capitol. Like, I swear to God, I saw a video of the guy opening up like the gate for them to go in.
Oh, I'm sure that he did. A lot of those
like part of it.
Stood down. They just stood down because they're like, I'm not getting killed over this.
Yeah. Or they agreed and believed in what they were fighting for too.
Maybe it's
you know
possible,
what I mean?
But I think that's less likely. I think they were mainly just the Capitol Police were backing up mainly just to protect the actual Senate floor where all these lawmakers were.
We got Jason Pellish. What up, Jason? In the chat room talking about they waved the folks in, invited them. It's on video. It Trump's opponents to turn it into a bloody shit show. Interesting viewpoint, Jason. I could see you coming up with that. Nonetheless, like the timelines just are contradictory. You have General Charles Flynn who's saying that they did try to deploy the National Guard, and you have the National Guard saying that there was no phone call about that. And it's just, it just took, eventually they got out there and they protected what they could after they destroyed everything and ransacked the fucking Capitol and scared people half to death. But there's just a lack of proof to support that theory that the Army did call the National Guard to deploy that.
Well, yeah, eventually. That's the problem. Was eventually, and I definitely blame the Trump administration because it's different with DC because it's just a district. It's not a state. Every other time, if you've got local municipalities, you've got a governor, they can call in the National Guard whenever they want with one phone call. But with DC, most likely it's going to have to come from the White House, especially when you're talking about the Capitol building. He could have Trump, Pence, who was their national security advisor at that point? I can't remember because there's so many. There's been so many. And then mainly it comes down to the Pentagon. At that point, the Pentagon could have deployed National Guard troops, but they just didn't.
Well, there was a video of them in like a bunker, like Trump and like the family and all these people, and they were like singing and dancing to like Gloria. I don't even know the song, but
it's probably YMCA with his
not it wasn't actually YMCA, but it was like Gloria something. I don't know how to sing it, but I don't know the lyrics, but I remember they were like singing in the basement and watching it on the news.
Well, I mean, look, everybody knows that he wants to be a tyrant. He wants to be a king. He doesn't want to be a president.
So y'all, you say Trump has some responsibility here.
I think he has a lot of responsibility.
With the Army lying.
I think everyone does. I don't think it's.
I think if he would have picked up that phone the instant they started brushing that building, I think National Guard would have been there in less than an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, you're talking about this is where the White House is, the Capitol building, the Pentagon, the Fed, everything important is in Washington. So there's a lot of troops there.
I definitely encourage listeners to go look at that Politico article and, figure it out yourself. And nonetheless, there's a side that's lying, that's high up in our security, in our national security.
Definitely. They don't want the notes of that meeting being, or that call, getting out. They don't want the American people to hear them saying, no, let's not do that.
And I don't.
Because they were the only two, Flynn and Piet were the only two dissenters in that meeting.
And let me just say this, but there's no proof to back up what they're saying. But nonetheless, Jason is still with his conspiracy theories. He says that Pelosi is hiding the details of how the Capitol Police were instructed, and then they committed suicide. So he has like a decent conspiracy theory, but I mean, I don't know, Jason.
No offense, Jason, but conspiracy theories are what people use when they can't understand what the reality of the situation is. Sorry.
I can't deal with the reality of a situation I want to talk about. And that is that a 12-year-old has made millions on something called NFT. And I don't even know what the fuck that is. Who's to blame?
The fucking internet.
Who's to blame for her making money or that NFTs exist?
That these things exist where someone can make millions and like we just don't even. What is it?
NFTs are
It's
like
art.
NFTs are like the Bitcoin of the art world. Just think of it like that. It's essentially a digital original of a meme or a photo or this or that.
How do you make millions off of it? It's like my economic ignorance.
Because people will pay millions for it. It's the same thing as how you could swirl a few smears of paint on a canvas and make millions off that. It depends on who is willing to buy it.
Are you familiar, Chelsea, with these NFTs?
That it's a pyramid scheme, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was on Clubhouse and people would always talk about NFTs and they have rooms on like how to do it and whatever. I guess it's just getting us ready for the metaverse. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you want to own a digital copy of something? That doesn't seem like that has any value.
A digital copy, a digital original.
Can't you just take
Cares? That doesn't make any sense. Like I would just screenshot.
Well,
originals are worthless and fucking online.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, but it's at that point, it's all, I believe it's also your property. So anytime anybody else tries to use it.
Yeah, anytime they download it or try to buy it, then you're making money off of it. That's what it is. But
Jason says he's on one today. He says NFTs sound like total bullshit to me. And
they very much are, sir.
And I know
we are very much in agreement on that.
He's about that the internet.
Get Jason in here. Let's talk about 9/11.
We're gonna get Jason on too. I told you we get him on.
Sure.
So nonetheless, Nyla Hayes, a 12-year-old digital artist, has made a couple of millions for herself from the sale of digital arts in the form of NFTs. She has a page that has less than 5,000 followers, but still made millions. That's interesting. And her page is managed by her mother. Well, I'm just baffled. 4.1 million.
From what I hear, or at least of what I've been hearing about these, you make the bulk of that money when you sell them, when you sell that actual original to somebody else. Some of these have gone for, does anybody remember the Disaster Girl
is it like
meme, with one with the little girl was smiling with house behind her? Yeah, that one sold for like $600,000.
That's an NFT?
Mm-hmm. If you own if you have the original, yes, you can turn it into an NFT and sell it. And that little girl made.
Now I know what that is.
But the fact that people are buying it, or like, I think that's dumb.
Yeah, it's all fucking stupid. I mean, we're all in agreement with that.
I just agree to live on this timeline.
Like me.
No, it's going to turn me into like a grumpy old man. I think I'm already there.
Who do you reach out to
we used to make things in this country.
That's what I want to know. Who do you reach out to sell your NFT to? Like,
I think there's platforms for it. I think it's too much for us to try and figure out on the fly right here.
I know. I just want to know for myself for later. Like, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I need to start trying to get the right image. Just like broke it down for me with the little girl that's in front of the house that's on fire. I'm like, okay, that's an NFT.
Maybe we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah. We
I
got
think
more
that my
important things to talk
friends,
about, like Pete Davidson. Yes, we're covering Pete Davidson again, y'all.
Why is this happening? He's not
It's
attractive.
his big dick energy.
I don't know what it
he
is.
doesn't have big dick energy though.
I don't know. I
He
think
looks like Jack Skellington's ghost,
I
you
don't
know?
care
Like,
what
what is up
you
with
don't
this
even.
dude?
It's not even about him being handsome. It's just the energy that he's projecting. That he's getting all these hot bitches.
You know what it
I don't
is? He's kind of crazy, and he's got some real mental and emotional problems. And I think that women are drawn to that because they see themselves in it. That's what I
They
think.
don't see themselves in it. They see like their father figure. Like, I
Their
don't-
father figure.
Yeah, dads are crazy.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the way. So Kylie and Pete Davidson are leading the headlines this week. Who's to blame, guys? Has he moved on from Kim Kardashian?
Jimmy Fallon. That's who's to blame for this. If anybody didn't see, they kind of like came out on the Tonight Show, and he let that happen and arranged it and organized it, and he ought to be ashamed of himself, I think.
They're publicists too. Pete Davidson has a really good publicist.
Do you think they're actually in these relationships, or do you think it's just for,
I don't think he's in
Not-
a
There's no way I don't even think he actually had sex with Kim. Do you? There's no way.
No, I think he has. I mean, it's rumored that he has a big dick.
So I don't think.
I don't think this is a true story. I
When's
don't
the
think,
last time she's been with a white guy too?
Dick only gets you so far when you have to look at Pete Davidson while you use it.
well, you just turn the lights off.
She can just use
So
a dildo.
you're too old to not know that. Like, just turn the lights off.
Look, I have been with some monsters in my life, but you don't date them. You just hook up with them once, and then later, gator, you know.
Well,
I'm starting a conspiracy theory. They've never had sex.
I'll go with that. I'll
They
go with
started
that.
with
Also,
me.
him and Kate Beckinsale never had sex either.
I'll go with this. And I'm
Well, no, Kate Beckinsale does. She has like real
I
issues.
feel like this. I would put money on Pete Davidson's dick being bigger than Kanye's.
Maybe because is it because he's tall? Is that a thing?
I think it's because he's tall and Kanye's not.
What is all of that? What is happening to this show? No.
Oh,
This is
now 'cause
not-
we're exploiting men.
No, I'm saying it's this again with NFTs and now this we're getting stupider as we go along.
Jason has an NFT of Pete Davidson cleaner.
Yeah, $20. That's good deal.
Is it tattooed? That's
No.
all I want to know. No, I think this is who I think's to blame for this. I think it's the tabloids. They're not together. They were promoting SNL that they were going to be on together soon. And I kind of blame social media a little bit because they just run with it too. They're like, oh, Pete and Miley have been in pictures together, so they're together now. It's so stupid.
I mean, if there wasn't a tabloid, then we wouldn't know that they hung out and had matching tattoos and were friends. We wouldn't care or know.
I kind of really don't care.
You know what it is?
If they were fucking, I would care.
It's just like the
Oh,
swirls.
Why would you care about that?
It's
Because
just
he done moved on.
it's just like the swirl on the canvas. It's just like the NFTs. The only reason that any of this matters is because somebody wants to buy it. That's it. And it's the Zennials. It's the Zennials, I think. Yeah. Generation Z here. I think they love following the shit. I think especially the younger they are, the more they like following celebrities. I don't know.
Really?
I think so.
I think you know what I think that's.
I don't know.
about?
I
think
grew out of
it's-
it. I assumed everybody else did too.
No, it's because the internet made it a different world for that. Like they're just in your face. Like I was just thinking today, I was like, I think I know why I'm depressed, right? Or down. And I think it's because
Because I'm your friend.
every time I open up my phone, there's a story about the Kardashians. And I'm fucking sick of it. Like I'm just over it. Like it makes me sad because I just I'm not as rich as them.
The only reason that anyone knows that
can't
name,
get the same kind of guys.
the only reason that
Although
anybody
their
knows
guys-
that name is because Kim took it from Ray J on camera.
And that's
That's
all
it.
it took.
OJ
Huh?
and OJ. Her dad.
No, Johnny Cochran was really the star of that story.
But I guess
No, but I'm saying like it made them relevant enough, like it added an extra thing. If she just sucked Ray J's dick and
Okay.
didn't have the background of like her dad representing like OJ, you know what I mean? I think that helped get the
There
reality
was
show.
like 5 lawyers on there. Johnny Cochran, Mr. Kardashian, name one other.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like she had an interesting enough background for them to want to pursue it. Like a lot of people have done sex tapes and it doesn't go anywhere because they don't have an interesting enough like background. You know what I mean?
it's like she's rich. Why is she doing this? You know?
Also, there's like a conspiracy theory online. I think it was a TikTok saying how, she used to be a personal assistant to Brandy or something, and she owed Brandy a lot of money because she spent a ton of money on her credit card, and then that's why she did the sex tape to make money to pay Brandy back or something. I don't know. It's a whole long thing. Also, like her mom has like a weird church that she funds. That's like a community church in California, and they like launder money or something. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
I mean, they're rich people. They probably do that. I just know that she used to be besties with
Paris Hilton. Yeah.
And
so-
Paris was like, you saw what my tape did. You got this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's a sign of how morally bankrupt our culture and society is right now. This hero worship bullshit is ridiculous because everybody keeps picking the shittiest heroes possible.
It's curated that way.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but it doesn't make money.
Wasn't always like this.
Mm-hmm.
We should be striving to be our own heroes, and then that way you won't pick shitty ones, and then you'll better yourself. I guess I don't know. Speaking of heroes, I'd like to welcome the 2021 Turkey Contest winner, Chelsea Perry.
Okay, hero, but
Yeah.
very good on the contest. Don't get me wrong,
Let me
but
just
hero.
transition the way I see
All
fit.
right.
They're gonna be like, oh, who are your comedy
Alright.
heroes or something?
She didn't know my transitions, y'all.
Always.
I'm like,
The transitions were good up until then.
so welcome. Sorry, it's always like this though. Like we're always arguing like this. Welcome to the show. How long have you been doing comedy?
Like comedy in general or stand up?
Stand up.
Stand up since August.
Oh, okay. What do you mean in general though?
Like I've been doing comedy writing for a long time. And
You know what? Some people like they write for a while before they go up for the first time. How long have you
Yeah.
been writing?
So like when I was 18, I joined a satirical paper called Every 3 Weekly at my university, and it was like a satire magazine like The Onion. So I wrote for them, and I wanted to do stand up when I was around 18, but I just was too scared. I would go watch my friends, and I would sign up and then I wouldn't go. I'd use whatever excuse I could to just be like, no, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to go. And then I did some improv too, but I didn't really like it. And then when I did improv, I knew for sure I wanted to try stand up. And
Yeah.
I did go to a mic when I was like 21 in New York, and then it didn't go horrible and it didn't go well, but I just didn't stick with it because I just had too much anxiety and fear of like failing at the thing I wanted to do. So I just kept pushing it.
Don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
27.
27? Okay. So
Yeah.
roughly 10 years you've been interested in comedy. It's just taking you a little while to step on the stage and
Yeah.
Well,
I've been interested in comedy since I was like 13. I wanted to be Tina Fey.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I love to.
were you gonna
No, I was gonna say. I mean, but there's comedy writing is still in that comedy world. I mean,
Yeah.
I would even say that it's probably harder to write comedy than it is to perform stand up, just because I've done a bit of writing myself, and trying to make a story funny to me is a lot more difficult than trying to make an audience laugh. Only because you don't have that presence. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because like as Blame Girl, I've been telling jokes on the blog since I started, but I didn't really have a structure for it or anything. Wouldn't have been able to go up to a mic and be like, tell jokes.
Right.
I think there's a difference from actually just, but everybody gets started a different way, like she said, with her writing. And maybe with me, it was with my writing that pushed me into that direction. I just didn't realize it,
Yeah. I'm not saying one's better or worse. I'm just saying it's different skill set. It's kind of like doing improv versus doing stand-up.
So I guess the next question's kind of been answered. I was going to ask, what was your motivation? You said you wanted to be like Tina Fey. Why? What did you see her in that made you feel like?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've just always been obsessed with comedy in general. And my parents were always having me watch stuff like out of the womb. I was basically watching Sanford and Son all the time with my dad, and like Abbott and Costello and just different stuff.
Get over here.
Yeah, and Bernie Mac and all that. So I've always loved comedy and like entertaining people. I used to be like a lot more social and outgoing when I was younger, and I became more introverted as I got older. But
because when I was younger. Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, it was like a no.
40, 41.
I do have a joke like in my opening about like if R. Kelly met me, he wouldn't know if he should ignore me or pee on me because I look so young.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I like would stay up and watch Conan and Chelsea Lately in middle school. And my parents even took me when I was like 14 to their shows, and we pretended I was 18. So I like always knew I wanted to do something in comedy. And at first I thought I wanted to write. And then I met with this lady and she's like, oh, well, as like a Black actress, you should write your own stuff because no one's going to write anything for you. And then I got into writing, and then I actually liked writing more than acting. And then I would write like little stuff in high school. Like when I would watch the Colbert Report, I would write like fake segments to go. I remember like my first thing had something to do with Clarence Thomas. And I didn't even know. I was like 15. I barely knew anything about politics. So I was just like trying to write that. So I don't know. I was always like, I've been collecting ideas for bits forever, but I just didn't do anything.
Like you had a really like you were advanced for what you were writing about. Because I haven't met too many young folks, and you were doing this when you were still in high school, that even approach politics really,
Yeah.
Really do that. They don't. I've noticed like it's hard for them to write jokes because they don't have too many life experiences. But once you get that, then it just starts, all this crazy shit happens as you live life, and you have jokes to write about. But it sounds like you hit it early. Like my motivation also came a little bit from politics. I was with Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Tina Fey's very political.
Yeah. Oh, and then I just love Larry David too. He's just like my soulmate. No, he's not my soulmate. He's my soul sister.
You need to back off.
No.
Okay, we just gonna move on to the next question, girl.
Yeah.
What's your proudest moment since you've been doing it? You said you've been doing it since August. Did you just jump into the mics, or did you do class, or how did
I took Ramon's class in August, and then I actually didn't start going to mics until October. But once I started going to mics, I went at least 5 times a week. That's like what I try to do. Huh?
So that's what you do when you start. You gotta, if you don't spend a 7-day mic, purge, you're not doing it right. You gotta do that. So what's your proudest moment since you've been doing it? I know you haven't been doing it too long.
Literally just getting up for the first time, just doing it. I mean, like my graduation show went well. So that's
I was gonna say, how could that not be your proudest moment?
What?
You won the turkey contest.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in general, I'm just proud that I went up and did it. Like, you know what I mean?
you're prouder that you started than you know.
She's virtue signaling. That's what's happening.
Okay.
She's like, see, look how humble I am. That's all that is.
Remember, I heard of like humble brag. Yeah, but
What's been your favorite venue to perform at?
But you can't say the Improv. None of them. It's too easy.
so my first show is like my first real show that's not like a bringer show is Thursday. If I can't say the Improv, so should I say my favorite open mic?
Okay, yeah. What's your
Anywhere
favorite?
else that you've performed.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Because if we let the Improv go, that's going to be everybody's answer.
Yeah. The Improv.
Real,
Not everybody.
we're real fair.
Not everybody. Well, most people will be like the Improv, but
Like my favorite
what's your
venue or
favorite
just
open mic?
audience like that I had.
Go for it.
I don't know. It's hard to say because each one I like for a different reason. I love going to the Coop on Wednesdays, even though there's not a real audience. It's just comics.
Good
Good.
choice. though.
You said what?
Good choice.
Yeah, no, it's so like I love it because it's a great place to bomb and try new things. And um I just love seeing people's stuff there. It gets wild and insane. Last week, someone brought a knife on a knife up. This is a joke. Never mind. I'm not gonna. But
You
yeah,
heard it here first. The Coop is a dangerous place to be.
So, what has been your biggest challenge since you've started?
performance for sure. Because like since I've come from a writing background, I'm like thinking about like getting all my words right and I'm like in my head more and I want to be able to just relax and be more comfortable and casual or like I want it to come off more conversational. So I've been trying to work on that the past few weeks and it's hard to not like to just like let myself relax. So yeah, I think the performance part of just becoming off more natural and not rehearsed.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hard for me. at
That
first.
usually takes a couple years.
Yeah.
But, and I still find myself getting stuck in it sometimes if I am not careful. Like Saturday, I felt like just because I was doing jokes I hadn't done in a while, I was like, there was punchline pause, and it's too like. So anyway,
That's just the fear. Gotta get over that.
yeah, no, I was nervous. I won't lie.
I told you that's why you should bomb on purpose at least once.
Mhm.
Go up, specifically bomb. Don't do it at a paid show or a booking. Do it at a mic and just bomb on purpose. It makes you feel like you can own it.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in like 2 years?
Like with stand up,
Mhm.
hopefully have like experience hosting and just like have a good like 20 minutes at least and I don't know, just get better. I can't even think that far ahead. I can only think like 2 months ahead at a time right now, but just yeah, I don't know. Just get better. I don't know.
Well, I think you're off to a great start.
Definitely.
I happened to catch your set at that particular turkey show. I thought it was great, and immediately said we got to get you on here. One of the best promising young rookies I've seen in quite some time.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last time I had this feeling, that was Jackie Sanchez. So.
Woo. That's good.
So let's get to know you. Who is Chelsea? Like, are you from Florida?
I'm from Michigan. It's called West Bloomfield. The nickname is West Jewfield.
I wonder if that's where my friend's from. I have a really good Jewish friend. I don't know where like the name of the little town is, but it's near Detroit. I know that.
Yeah.
Got in Detroit.
Yeah, but you don't think about Michigan as like where funny people come from. No offense to you,
Yeah.
Like you think New York, you think Boston, you think Philly, you think those northeastern grizzled states. You don't think like, cheese and
I know you don't, but
Vikings.
but
and
here
Swedes.
you go.
Mhm.
We've got a funny one out of Michigan. So how long
It's unusual.
how long have you been in Florida?
I came like maybe 5 months before the pandemic started.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
What brought you down?
Timing was perfect.
Well, I was gonna only come for the summer. My mom moved here and I was having some health issues and I was like, oh, I'll just come and I'll heal. And I lived in New York for like 4 years. And so I was like, oh, I'll just like come for the summer, heal and go back to New York. And then I was like, ended up staying because it takes longer to heal certain health issues than I thought. I was just like impatient about it. But yeah, it was mostly health, but I'm glad I came because it's been really good for my mental health and physical health and also just like getting me back into comedy and stuff too.
That's good. Do you see yourself going back, or you zen in Florida?
I mean, it would be hard, like it'd be cool maybe in a few years from now, like 3 years, maybe to go back, seeing how things pan out, just specifically for stand-up. But I really like the lifestyle of being able to go to the beach and drive to the grocery store and be in nature and see the sun and the moon at night. And it's like less stressful. I don't know. I never thought I would, huh?
What do you mean by see the sun and the moon?
Well, I mean the moon. You could see the sun kinda. Well, you can see the
You
moon.
live in the city?
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, I guess the stars, but you can't really see stars here because of light pollution. But I'm just saying, like, I can see clouds and it's nice.
Like how Earth's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, like
You
when I
said
first
nature.
moved here, I was allergic to grass. Like every time I would go for a walk, I'd have hives all over my body. I could barely be outside for long.
I just love that you guys think that this is like nature in South Florida.
How is it not nature?
Y'all need to get out more, okay?
Where are you from?
Not necessarily, but yeah, South Florida. The Everglades is right here. Fuck off.
I
It is nature.
understand,
Like,
but you're
shut up,
talking
Terry.
about seeing stars and stuff like that. I mean, drive 100 miles north. There you go.
All you gotta do,
And
not
look
even
up.
that, just go to a rural area and you'll see the stars.
Actually, you
That's
mentioned
all
the
you gotta do.
Everglades. You can, if you go out to the Everglades, you get a pretty good light show, but it's still nothing
The
compared
Keys, if you go down to the Keys, it's beautiful.
in places, in certain places.
But where there's a lot of light pollution and a lot of population density,
Right.
you're just not gonna get that. You're
Well-
gonna get smog and clouds. and-
Anybody that's ever been like way out or even in the desert or something like that, it's amazing to me how old I was until I learned that you're actually supposed to be able to see the haze of the Milky Way when you look up at the night sky.
I mean, I've only seen that once, and that's when I was like out. in
Yeah,
there,
that's
you know,
when
it's
you
like,
get
wait.
way out, it's pretty amazing how different it is.
You're like, oh my God, it's the universe for real. Like, yeah. South Florida ain't got nothing on the real rural.
No.
So okay, what do you're not in school? Are you still in school? You're still pretty young, but okay.
No, I was a high school English teacher.
You're a high school English teacher?
No, I quit, but I already taught.
But
like-
because they kept mistaking you for a student, is that why?
Yeah, I'm trying to write like a whole set on that. But yeah, I would get in trouble with the kids because I looked just like them. Like on a field trip, they'd be like yelling at like a group of people together, and I'd be like in the middle of that group. But yeah, no, I taught sophomores, juniors, seniors, and I taught AP. And so it's funny when people are like, "Are you in school?" I was like, "Yeah, like a teacher."
So
You're
what you're
not-
saying is you're a bad influence and shouldn't be
You're not
left around children. Got it.
100%.
right now, though, right?
No, I quit
Safe.
like in June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I used to be a teacher, and it's like after I left, I was like, you know what? Those summers ain't even worth it. That's how I felt.
No, they kicked her out for teaching critical race theory. I'm sure.
Yeah.
To black kids, because that's what
They already know. I think they already know about the critical.
they knew more about critical race theory than I did.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's the culture of teaching really needs fixing. I mean, it did 10 years ago when I was a teacher, so I can only it's like now. So
Well, when you pay cops more than teachers, you're gonna get what you get. You know, you've prioritized what you wanted. You would rather punish than educate.
all right. So let's go ahead and play the blame game. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. You get confused for being Jewish. Who's to blame?
Probably her, I would say.
How? Why is it her fault?
Well, she was just
I didn't
talking
even
about.
ask you. I asked.
She was
her.
talking about the Jewish community she grew up in.
Go ahead, Chelsea. I didn't ask him.
I think, well, I went to all Jewish camp growing up in elementary school. That joke is real.
So are you went to Jewish camp? You go there and not be Jewish? Or are you fucking Jewish? Because that's the thing.
I don't know. I just went. I mean, it was like, they weren't like, you can't come if you're not Jewish, but only Jewish kids went there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was another Jewish camp that they had temple services every week there too, but I didn't go to that one. But everyone I went to camp with was Jewish, and
I think she got there and they just said, "You got the hair for it. You'll fit right in. Come
exactly. No, I really didn't realize I wasn't Jewish.
on."
And
Not
then
Well,
Sorry.
I mean,
like then bat
don't you
mitzvah
get
season
visas
came
or-
around, and I didn't have one. And then Jewish boys were like, "Oh, I can't marry you because you're not Jewish." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not Jewish. Like I'm not."
You know what you should have said? Be like, "I can't marry you. You're not Jewish." And be like, "Yeah, but we can still do some stuff, right?" You know, like, that's the comeback to that one.
So it's
Yeah.
the area you grew up in, and then you went to the school, and like Terry said, the hair could go either way. And
Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess I just picked up on a lot of like Jewish neuroses, I guess, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like
Like me with black people. I grew up in black communities, so I now
yeah.
get along more with black people than I do with white people.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm
Get
like
along better with Jewish people than Gentiles.
I really understand George Costanza so much as a person. I feel like
That's why she loves Larry David, right
Yeah.
there.
of course, yeah.
Costanza is based on Larry David, right?
Yeah, I do. And
No,
actually I did a
so,
yeah.
I
Okay,
did a painting of Larry David and he saw it, and then it was the best reaction. He goes, "Why would she do that?" And I was like, that was like the perfect reaction.
The Larry David reaction.
Yeah. Like what made her do that? And I was like,
So you said you have your first book show coming up. Where's that? Tell us about it.
Thursday, at Matthews Brewing Co., 8:00.
Okay.
South Florida Comedy.
Work. So do you want to give out your social media and everything?
Sure. Instagram is, I should probably change it to make it easier. It's C Perry. It's C Perry, like SEAPERY. That's Instagram. And then I guess I should get followers on Twitter, but I think I might delete my Twitter because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's Potato Harpoon. It makes no sense, but I came up with it in like 8th grade. So
Potato harpoon.
yeah.
You don't need a harpoon to get those. You can
Nope.
just pick them up.
No
Yeah,
TikTok.
I know. It's a whole thing.
No TikToxic.
Not right now, no. Eventually I'll try to push myself to do that, but
Don't stay away.
That's crazy. You're so young and you only have 2 social medias. No OnlyFans? No.
I mean, if stand-up doesn't work, I might have to pay the bills somehow like that. No, I honestly, I hate, that's why I like stand-up, because I like live entertainment. I hate being on my phone and screens all the time. And I'm like tired of memes and TikToks and whatever. So that's what I love about doing like live comedy, because you're in front of a real audience. You're not, looking at a screen, and it's just more engaging.
Well, we really appreciate you being on. And now, white people, it's time for Terry Wayne's words.
All right, honkies. Here we go. It's our last show of the year. We're not going to be back until January 3rd. So I just want to send you guys off with this message. I know I've talked about it before, but we're going to talk about the holidays. It's that time of year, and I don't care if it's Hanukkah or Christmas or Ramadan, whatever you're doing. Just remember to keep your politics out of your religion. Okay? Keep your politics out of your religion. Keep your politics out of your holidays. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anyone. And when you mix those things, it just poisons them all. You should never mix your religion and your politics, because you ruin them both when you do that. Don't argue with your family. Stop thinking about war on Christmas every time Starbucks changes their cup. Or some crazy homeless guy lights a Christmas tree on fire. It's not a hate crime. It's a mental illness and should be treated as such. Not everybody's attacking you. And I remember it wasn't too long ago when this time of year was my favorite time of year. And not because of the holiday necessarily, not because of getting gifts or doing this or doing that or the food or the get-togethers. It was just that everybody seemed for a couple of weeks to be a little bit nicer to each other. That's why I enjoyed it. People were nicer, they were kinder, they drove better. Even you'd see more people getting waved through, more doors getting held open for each other. Let's try and get back to that, okay? I know we're still healing over everything that's happened over the last 5 years. Let's just go out there and have a good Christmas or a good Ramadan. Or, Hanukkah's basically over, but, just be nice to each other for just the last 2 weeks of the year. I think we can all do that, right? So put all this bullshit aside, go out there, have a good time with your family, even if you disagree with them, even if they won't get vaccinated, just try to appreciate them while they're here. So that's it. That's it for 2021.
All right, then I won't hit you in your face, Terry,
Okay.
tonight, since we're putting all that aside. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Like you said, we're back January 3rd, but we've got some stuff coming up on Wednesday. We're both at Uncle Scotchy's storytelling extravaganza.
Super excited about that one.
We
We've
had
never done a storytelling show in 10 years, and I cannot wait.
Look at his face.
I'm so
Uncle
excited.
Scotchy was on the show a couple weeks ago. And then what else? We got Just the Funny on Saturday in Miami.
That's with the Wizard of Oz tour.
That's the
And
Wizard of Oz.
also the Wizard of Oz tour is at Monroe's Red Light
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
I'm bringing in my birthday.
That's right.
Yeah.
So come out to that one, because I'm buying this one a lap dance after the show. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, I'll take it, I guess. It's not King of Diamonds, but I can't say that.
As long as I get to watch, that'll be fine by me.
He can still watch. All right, guys. We'll see you after the new year. Bye.